Okay, now this video is for anyone over 18. If you're a child or a minor, you are not allowed to view this video. I'd like you to put your right arm to the square and say, I solemnly swear before God, angels, and these witnesses that I will not look at this video, and then click the sucker off. This is an R-rated video. Not because I'm R-rated. Oh, I'm X-rated. Superman can see right through me. This subject is a subject I never thought I would do a video on. It's not a subject I've even thought of probably for over 45 or 50 years. It just doesn't occur to me. Now, this is a report from the Department of the Interior. Okay? Now, that is a government agency, and most of you know I probably lean a little bit towards liberalism because I got degrees in helping people. I'm in human services, so I think there should be a safety net there. Now, is Obama spending too much money? I'm going to be honest here. I'm going to be honest. I think this is a report that didn't need to be made and come out. Now, all of you conservatives that say, you know, David is a liberal, bleeding heart Democrat, it's not true. When I see the Democrats do silly stuff, I don't know, was Clinton silly with Monica Lewinsky? I don't know if I'd call that silly. But anyway, the point is, I'm going to report to you, and there should be no children on this channel. If your kids and you are watching this for family home evening, put the kids outside, especially your teenagers. So, now, there is a rumor, and I have to be very careful here. As many of you know, I had the 6 naked angels appear to me and tell me not to join the Mormon church. Now, they have reappeared, just like Moroni reappeared 3 times, and these girls, you know, they can't stop getting enough of me. Maybe I can't stop getting enough of them. Anyway, I've received personal revelation that the Mormon church is going to seriously consider, and that these angels are going to try to inspire Monson to add this report to the bishop's interview of young people. Now, you know the Mormon church asks most people over 10 or 11 if they masturbate, how often they masturbate, where they masturbate, and do they enjoy masturbating. I was asked that. I'm not making this shit up. I told you, Woody Dean, the first dean of the law school at BYU, he was one of my state presidents, lived up across the street from me. Son of a bitch, every time I came up for a baptism for the dead, he would say, do you masturbate? And I quit the night before, so I always say, no, I don't masturbate. God, that's sick. Well, anyway, the church doesn't have quite as much control of the penises and the vaginas of the young people as they used to. The shocking question of masturbation, which nearly 98% of the boys, and my best number is 67% of the girls, but I've seen numbers at 45% lately. So I don't know, maybe the girls are bored, I don't know. But anyway, they need a more shocking question. Now again, I don't want to get sued. I don't want to, you know, the Mormon church is going to kill me anyway, but I'd hate more being sued. Death is quick and easy. Anyway, if you're too young to, you know, pull up R-rated or X-rated stuff, get the hell off of here. I'm giving you fair warning. But I know you Mormons, you're going to stay on because you have no sex life. And this is exciting. And at the end of it, you're going to go, ooh, that was cool. And then you'll push the dislike button to get your temple recommend for the next year. Okay, now this is honest stuff, okay? And you know, I don't lie unless I make money at it. Alright, here it comes. Okay, now this is from The Onion. America's finest news source. I don't know about that, but it ain't the Deseret News, okay? It is, God, is it dated here? I don't see the date, but I think it's today or yesterday, because it's pretty up and coming. Alright, now this is, you're not going to believe me till you look it up yourself, so look it up, I don't care. Okay, let me read you the opening paragraph, because that always sums up an article. Okay, Washington. According to Beltway sources, confused White House staffers arrived at their desk Wednesday to find a meticulously researched, entirely unrequested report from the Interior Department assessing dry humping as a suitable sex alternative for teenagers. Dry humping. So this is going to be my video on dry humping. I never thought I would do a video on a government report. And I'm saying that, you know, Obama could have probably saved a little bit of money. We don't need this report, I don't think. Maybe the Mormons do, because, you know, the angel said they think the bishop may start asking, do you masturbate or do you dry hump? Have you ever dried hump? Where? How? What clothes? Was it just a sheet or was it clothes? Now, one of the funny comments, and I try not to take credit for other people's humor, unless I can get away with it, like Jack Benny. And he's so damn old, I don't remember him. Anyway, one of the article comments on the post, one of the women wrote in and said that the zipper on Levi's can be very rough on women in dry humping situations. I can't remember when I reported something so stupid. But anyway, how could they possibly have found the time or funding for an in-depth study of dry humping? DePrairie added, I'm certain we didn't commission this. They're all running under their chairs and their desks when the American people get this one. And maybe when Romney gets it. But he was the state president. He might have already been saying dry humping. Now, get this on the computer, internet. U.S. Fish and Wildlife Services Office of Strategic Habitat Conservatism Guide to Best Dry Sex Problems. I love the government. They're as silly as the Mormons. And here's 4 positions in the article that show good dry humping positions. I'm going crazy on this one. I'm going crazy. You think I'm making it up? Go on the internet. You'll see. Okay, let me read this one to you, too, because this is Secretary Ken Salazar. Now, I don't think he's going to be employed very long. Ken Salazar is the Secretary of the Interior here. It also included is a detailed history of the practice. Now, I don't know where they get that. From the Victorian era practice of frottage, F-R-O-T-T-A-G-E. Now, I went to BYU and I have 1 master's degree and 28 postmaster credits. I've never heard of frottage. Have you? Maybe some of you are cooler and smarter than I am. I doubt it. No, I'm just shitting. Okay, it means to rub. To the modern teen trend of freaking or sandwich dancing. No, I'm just too old. Sandwich dancing. Who's the meat? I can understand the 2 pieces of... Who's the meat in the sandwich? Anyway, sandwich dancing, whereby 2 partners interlock legs and grind... Ooh, that doesn't sound good. Grind their genitals together in rhythm with popular music. Now, is that a dry hump? I don't know what... But the Mormons are going to come out with a definition. My angel said, you know, join none of them. Don't have sex with anyone except your lawfully wedded wife or husband. It used to say in the temple, and I'm sure I made them change that. It used to say, you will not be involved in any sexual relations with your, except with your lawful wife and husband. And you know, I thought, you know, you kind of get away when it says sexual intercourse. It's pretty specific. But now it says sexual relations. It used to say intercourse, but now that they've got it general, I could go back to the temple and be okay. Let's get back to sandwich dancing. The patnomiming of intercourse prior to the onset of mature sexual relationships is a phenomenon one observes in many cultures. Now, I've had anthropology at BYU, and I told you my health book, brand new health book at BYU, a required class when I was a freshman, had a section on it in masturbation. And when I opened my book up to it, it was in the table of contents. I opened my book up to it, and it went from page 25 to page 40. They'd taken a razor blade and cut out the masturbation stuff. So as a college student, we weren't even allowed to learn that. So it's in many cultures. I was about to tell you, I did have anthropology, and in my anthropology classwork, I never saw dry humping. But I don't read well, and if they don't put pictures like they do here, I don't know. I kind of missed some things here. Okay. It said, oh, this is in the report. A phenomenon one observes in many cultures, reads one section of the report. It's natural for budding, aroused adolescents to explore erogenous zone stimulation with a partner. And when it comes to achieving physical gratification without disrobing, teens have many options available to them. Young males will even find that ejaculation is not uncommon. Not uncommon. Let me tell you something. Why am I doing this? I'm mentally ill. But let's see, I don't think... Did I take my meds this morning? I can't remember. If I can't remember it, I probably didn't. Okay, so anyway, what I'm saying here is that if you're laying on top of the local cheerleader and you're humping her, I would think that it would not be uncommon. As the government report, I'm just the messenger. Don't kill me. I'm just sharing the government report with you. Another section credited to the Department Office of Surface Mining, Reclamation, and Enforcement ranks the best places to engage in dry humping using a statistical dry pleasure coefficient. I've had statistics. Who can do statistics on dry humping? Oh God, I don't know. Anyway, or DPE. That's a DPE is a dry pleasure coefficient, a new metric the Department of the Interior developed solely for the report. The study indicates a soft couch in the finished basement of a mutual friend house has the highest known DPE, making it the top location for fully clothed teens to vigorously mount each other. You know, not too much embarrasses me. Not too much. I mean, you know, even when I go outside and I forget to put my pants on, I'm like, ah, shit, I'm just old. The kids always go back in and get some pants on. My children. Okay, let me get back to the humping report, because I think this is important for the Mormon Church to get this question in there. You know, because if they'd ask me, I can't say. It's a sacred thing. It's not a secret about dry humping. It's sacred. Let me go back here. The Interior Department that made this report, founded in 1849 to oversee federal land management, has never been responsible for dealing with adolescent sexuality in any official capacity. Comprehensiveness notwithstanding, it's a little alarming that anyone over there knows much about dry humping, whether anecdotally or through direct observation. Oh God, where did it go? Oh God, come on back here. Oh my damn computer, it does this sometimes. Here we go. said the White House Communications Director Dan Pfeiffer, P-F-E-I-F-F-E-R, referring to a section of the report that evaluates various ointments that can be used to treat chapped genitals following heavy friction. Quote, "For Christ's sakes, these people have 58 national parks to run." I've lived too long. I wish one of my suicides had gone through before I had to do the dry humping report. I've got 101,000 hits, which I really thank you people for. Some of you are so damn funny. I just sit here and laugh my ass off at some of the comments. Even the Mormons, no, they're not funny. They take a vow in the temple, no light-mindedness or loud laughter. They don't know how to have fun in life. This sounds like a report from the Mormon Church. Quote, "And some of these studies go all the way back to 1995, so obviously they've been working on this for a while," he continued. "By all outward indication, this looks like a labor of love." One of the people that made a comment, I'm not going to steal their jokes, said the BYU students calls this Levi love. Not Lehigh, Levi love. Okay, and I don't know, they haven't recommended here any ointments, but I guess that's in the report. You know, I don't know, I don't order those 55-gallon cans of Vaseline anymore. You know, when you get older, you don't need 55 gallons. But anyway, it just made me think of that. Despite calling the report unsettling and difficult to read for more than a few minutes at a time, see, I can only read the summary of the report a few minutes at a time. It's so absolutely hilarious. Administration staffers acknowledge its conclusions were valid on the whole and should be applauded for their objectivity and non-judgmental tones. God dang. You tell your teenager about dry humping, you're probably going to have social services over at your house. So make sure that you say to them that this was it was unsettling, but it's true. Sources said, aside from some of the more graphic and largely speculative sections on teen vibrator play, I can't even read it. Teen vibrator play contributed by the U.S. Geological Survey. How the hell is that agency involved in you know, dildo playing? Interior. Much of the research might even be suitable for sex education curricula. I wish they had this in my high school. You know, my Levi's wore out in the knees. You can see what kids are doing as you go down through the school and you go, hey, you know, his Levi's, the crotch is worn out. I don't know. We'd be more happy to further discuss any of our findings, a department spokesman said. All questions can be directed to Secretary Salazar's office. And well, let me tell you something. Mr. Salazar, he's not going to be there next week. And if Romney gets a hold of this, I think it's funny. I think it's funny that he says that, you know, big government. So anyway, maybe some of you have done dry humping. I don't know. And like I said, I swore before God, angels, and these witnesses that if you ask me, it is sacred. It is not a secret. I wish I'd had that in sex education. I wouldn't feel guilty. And yeah, I had to buy a lot of 501 Levi's all the way through school. Thanks.